Today we are going to demonstrate how to do jumbo knotless braids on all of this beautiful hair. It is already washed and detangled for us. What we're going to do right now is blow dry it. So you're going to see me start off with just dampening the hair with the spray bottle, which will just make it so much easier to do the blow dry process with absolutely no damage at all. Stay tuned. As you all can see, we have finished with the blow dry process. Shrinkage is real. I went on ahead and parted off the sections just to be a guide for the rest of the hairstyle, just so that I know which direction I want to go in and how big I want the braids to be so that everything is consecutive and it flows. So since we're doing the jumbo, the sections of course are a lot bigger. So I just went on ahead and parted off throughout the entire head and just held it off with some clips, and then as I go through with doing the hairstyle, I'll do subsections and part it off for the actual braid that's going to be done. With the braid gel, I will go around the perimeter of the parted section, which will help me make the foundation very sleek, so that the braid is neat and flat. Now that everything is flat and neat, I will begin to braid. We are now concluding the hairstyle. You can see the knotless braids. The blonde transition was a success. So we are all done after this braid. You can see the parts are nice and clean. Everything is flat. We are almost finished, guys. Now that we are finally complete with all of the braids, the hard part is over. Now you want to go through and clean up the braids where you can see a little bit of the frayed hair and flyaways. You do not want to cut the client's hair. That's why the tuck method is so important, so that you're not cutting any of the client's hair that you might see sticking out. So anything that I cut is going to be the weave only. This is one of my final steps that I do to make sure that cleaning up the braids does not leave it with a very blunt cut, which is not a pretty look to me. It's not a pretty finish. It doesn't look refined at all. So I take a razor, which is much easier than taking scissors. Scissors is going to create a blunt cut. Razor is going to make it look like a more natural finish. So I take the razor, hold it on an angle, and I cut away at the excess hair. And you see it's not a blunt cut. So when you dip it in the hot water, it's gonna be more of a refined look. Now to seal the braids, I know some people use the knot method, some people use glue. For me, the best thing that has worked and is the most seamless, and also, as I said before, a more refined finish, I take a flat iron and tap at the end of the braid, and it seals it. So when I dip it in the water, it won't come undone. Final step. All the braids are done, all the cleanup is done. As you can see, there are very few, if any, flyaways. The ends are sealed, the ends are cut. Now it is time to take your hot boiling water. I just use a simple kettle. You can buy them at Target, and dip the braids. Now you can see how much more mobility you have with the braids. They move, they're flexible, and they are not stiff. And the ends clean. We have finished with the braids. We have cleaned the braids and they are all dipped. Now for your final step, you want to be sure to apply the rice water and aloe vera itch relief to the scalp so that your client's scalp is good to go. Put it in all of the parts. Don't miss one. This is probably one of the most important steps.